In the ancient rhythms of divine revelation, Genesis chapter 7 unfolds as a thunderous cry from eternity. It is not merely a passage of scripture, it is a holy alarm bell echoing through time, urging the soul to wake from slumber. It calls us to look at the world not with casual eyes, but with trembling reverence. Within these sacred lines lies a record of judgment, mercy, obedience, and the breathtaking collision of heaven's justice with earth's disobedience. It grips the heart with awe, strikes the spirit with the terror of divine wrath, and yet, glimmers with the golden thread of hope for those who walk in faith. In this chapter, the narrative shifts from preparation to action. The warnings given to Noah are not abstract anymore. They are no longer distant prophecies. The time has come, the skies darken, and the earth trembles. The command is clear. Noah, a man who dared to believe when belief seemed absurd, is summoned into the ark. His family, the chosen ones preserved through obedience, step into a vessel not just of wood, but of divine promise. This moment is the tipping point where God's patience meets its limit and his righteous judgment begins to pour down. It is easy to forget that this story is not a fable. It is not folklore. It is history etched into the very soul of our existence. Every raindrop that falls in this chapter is heavy with divine sorrow and holy resolve. For 120 years, Noah preached righteousness. He was mocked, laughed at, scorned by those who could not fathom a world-ending flood. And then, in one terrifying moment, the skies opened. The fountains of the deep burst forth. The earth, that had once borne the steps of man with grace, now bore the weight of God's wrath. Can you feel the urgency in this? Imagine it, the very people who ridiculed Noah now clawing at the door of the ark, begging for entrance. But it is not Noah who shut the door. It was God. A door shut by the hand of the Almighty cannot be opened by any man. That single act, God shutting the door, echoes with eternal finality. It tells us there is a time for grace, and there is a time when that grace ceases. How long will we linger on the edge of obedience, waiting for a more convenient time to follow what we know to be true? The ark is more than a wooden structure. It is a symbol of salvation. It is a foreshadowing of Christ. Just as Noah and his family were saved from the judgment waters through a divine plan, so too are we offered shelter in the grace of Jesus. But just like in Noah's day, that grace comes with a deadline. The rain will fall, the floods will rise, and those who have ignored the call will find themselves outside the door, crying in vain. There is something terrifyingly beautiful about the precision of God's judgment. Every animal entered by 2s and 7s, every moment orchestrated with divine calculation. Not one creature forgotten, not one soul spared outside the ark. It reminds us that nothing escapes God's notice. He sees the wickedness of man, yes, but he also sees the quiet obedience of the faithful. Noah's life was not one of dramatic miracles or mighty displays, it was one of steady, relentless faith. Day by day, hammer strike by hammer strike, he built an ark in a land that had never seen rain. Can we, in our age of distraction and delay, find the strength to build with that kind of faith? The rain fell for 40 days and 40 nights. Think about that, not a gentle drizzle, but a deluge of divine reckoning. The kind of rain that drowns not only bodies but entire histories, entire generations. The old world, with all its corruption, violence, and pride, was buried beneath the water. It is not merely a story of destruction, it is a story of cleansing. A story of starting again. But that, starting again came at a cost. What are we willing to sacrifice to walk in obedience? The people of Noah's time sacrificed everything for comfort, for pleasure, for disbelief. And in doing so, they lost everything. Their homes, their legacy, their very breath. Meanwhile, one man, ridiculed and alone, found favor in the eyes of God because he dared to obey. We live in a world not unlike Noah's. A world filled with noise, mockery of truth, celebration of wickedness, and the illusion of endless time. But time is not endless. The door will close again. Can you feel the weight of that truth? There is an urgency that cannot be overstated. This chapter is not just about the past. It is about your present and your future. It is a mirror held up to your soul. Will you be among the scoffers who perish in disbelief, or will you be among the remnant who heed the call and enter into the ark of salvation? Let your heart tremble, but not in despair. Let it tremble in reverence. Because just as judgment is real, so is hope. Just as the flood came, so did the rainbow. Just as the door was shut, it was later opened. The God who judges is the same God who redeems. But he cannot be mocked. His mercy is vast, but it is not indefinite. What does your life look like right now? Are you building something in faith, even when no one else understands? Are you preparing your heart like Noah prepared the ark? Or are you lost in the distractions, convincing yourself you have more time? This chapter invites you to rise, to awaken, to step into something eternal. There is no neutral ground. The flood did not care about how sincere people felt. It came with power. It came with unstoppable force. The only thing that mattered was whether they were in the ark or not. Let that hit you. Whether you are inside the ark or outside, it will determine your eternity. We are all builders in this life. Every choice, every action, every word, it's a plank in the structure of our future. Noah built an ark. What are you building? Are you constructing a life of obedience, discipline, and devotion? Or are you building sandcastles on the shores of a coming flood? The rain is coming again. Not in water, but in fire. Not in waves, but in final judgment. But once again, there is an ark. And its name is Jesus. Its door is open, for now. Will you enter? If this message stirred something in your soul, if you felt the weight and wonder of Genesis chapter 7, I urge you to take action. Don't walk away unchanged. Let the fear awaken your faith. Let the urgency move you to obedience. Let the excitement of divine destiny drive you to transformation. And if you want to keep uncovering these powerful truths, if you want to walk this journey with deeper understanding and reverence, I invite you to subscribe to our channel, Shining Truths. We are diving into the Word with awe, fear, hope, and love. We are building something eternal. And we want you with us. Subscribe now, and be part of the remnant that walks through the open door before it closes forever.